Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And today is Throat Punch Thursday.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
It's Throat Punch Thursday, bitch.
Oh, gotta love Throat Punch Thursday. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Every day. Anyway, folks, this is the day where, we take folks on, we combat with folks, we take them down. We give them a nice, little paya to the throat, should it be necessary in order to get them right. So, in any case, today it's going to be us. I do not know if Mike is going to be showing up today or not. Unfortunately, I'm sure he's probably out working, but in any case, we're here. So do me a favor, go ahead. If you are watching us live, that's 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead and comment. However you are watching, trust me, we're watching on YouTube, we're watching on Facebook, we're watching on Rumble. Go ahead and let us know what you think. If you got something to say about the things that we're talking about, go ahead and let us know. Now, just so you know, there's a wee bit of a lag. So if I don't catch it right away, or because I'm reading or talking about something else, know that I'll be looking. I'll have to go back to it, because I'm both in front of and behind the camera at the same time. So it's not like I got someone, behind the scenes chiming in, let me know what's up. So, I got to go and I got to look and I got to find it myself. So make it easy for me. Go ahead, put those comments in there. We want to hear from you. Now, before we get into the program, you know what we got to do, folks. Well, we got to pay some bills. And how do we go about doing that? Well, we go about talking about our sponsors. First of all, we're going to start off with Hitman Industries. You can find them at hitmanindustries.net. If you own an AR that you have purchased recently, there's a good chance you already have one of their barrels. But just in case, hey, say you're looking to do a rebuild. Say you're looking to do a brand new build, or even just rebarrel your current rifle. Check out hitmanindustries.net. They've got all the barrels that you could look for, rifle or handgun. So check them out today. And if you are a first responder who's never ordered from them before, you can get a discount. So check them out today. Once again, hitmanindustries.net. Then you got the California Republican Assembly working to help elect conservative Republicans at all levels of government, from school board all the way up to President of the United States. I'm talking pro-life, pro-family, anti-tax, limited government, pro-Second Amendment. I mean, the sort of conservative that you would be quite okay to take home to mother. Anyway, check them out today, cragop.org. That's cragop.org. If you want to be a part of California's future today, join CRA. Then we've got Hog Holsters. You'll find them at hogholsters.com. Inside the waistband, outside the waistband holsters. No matter what kind of firearm or light or optic you may have, trust me, they have a holster for you. So check them out today. Once again, hogholsters.com. That's HAWG Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Right, you go there, you go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, just like it is right up there, just like it is there. Use that, and you will get a discount on us. So check them out today, hogholsters.com. Finally, if you're looking for anything outdoor, anything tactical, minus the gun, you need to go to uscombatgear.com. Trust me, they got boots, they got pants, they got shirts, they got hats, they got eyes, they got all the tactical stuff for the gun, once again, except for the gun. And the great thing is it's veteran-owned and operated. They have tremendous selection, great prices, fast shipping. Check them out, uscombatgear.com. All right. Now that we have paid the bills, let us go ahead and give y'all a holler. First story. I know you're wondering, it's like, well, this is not news. Of course Biden didn't remember where he was or didn't remember who he was or anything like that. Well, this is a little bit different. And it's a little bit different because this was actually during an official investigation, a special counsel investigation, to be exact. And I'll take you here, and this is a story that's being reported by Fox News. Well, not just Fox News, but I pulled the story from Fox News. So it says here, Biden didn't remember when he was vice president, when his son Beau died during special counsel interviews. Let's read a little bit. It says, according to special counsel Robert Hur's report on President Biden's mishandling of classified documents released Thursday, Biden could not remember any key details, such as when he was vice president, during interviews with investigators. Hur has been investigating Biden's improper retention of classified records since last year. The papers included classified documents about military and foreign policy in Afghanistan, among other national security and foreign policy records, which Hur had said implicated sensitive intelligence sources and methods. He announced he would not seek criminal charges against Biden. The report, however, also contains an eye-popping portion about how Biden struggled to remember when he served as vice president in an Obama administration while being interviewed for the investigation. Additionally, Hur's office believed Biden's lawyers would use those limitations in his recall when he went to trial. Quote, in his interview with our office, Mr. Biden's memory was worse, the report states. He did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended. If it was 2013, when did I stop being vice president? And forgetting on the second day of the interview when his term began in 2009, I'm still vice president. He did not remember even within several years when his son Beau died, the report continued, and his memory appeared hazy when describing the Afghanistan debate that was once so important to him. Among other things, he mistakenly said he had a real difference of opinion with General Carl Eckenberry, when in fact Eckenberry was an ally whom Mr. Biden cited approvingly in his Thanksgiving memo to President Obama. In case the government must prove that Mr. Biden knew he had possession of classified Afghanistan documents after the vice presidency and chose to keep those documents knowing he was violating the law, we expect at trial his attorneys will emphasize these limitations on his recall, the report stated. So let's be clear. All right. The reason they decided not to go to trial, first we're going to start with, is because his recollection, his memory is so bad. He is so senile that they basically what they're saying is he's incompetent to stand trial. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is that they're going to use the fact that the president is incompetent. And when I say incompetent, I'm not saying he's stupid. He was not. Well, he is judging based on some of the policies, you can say he's kind of stupid, but the point is that he is mentally so degraded. His mentality, his mind is so disintegrated that they are like, yeah, they're just going to use that at trial and he'll get off. So they decided not to prosecute him. Now, here's my question. If someone is so mentally deficient that it makes them incapable of standing trial, based on a prosecutor, do you think that person should be running the country? I'll wait for your comments. Come on. Well, I won't wait for your comments. Give me your comments. Send me your comments. I know you have got to believe that there's a problem with this. I cannot be the only one who sees this as a problem. The man cannot stand trial. And yet, he's supposed to be able to He's supposed to be able to run the country. Not just run the country now, but they're making an argument he should run the country for 4 more years. Really? Hello? Is this thing on? I'm starting to wonder. I know y'all are out there watching this. I know you're watching this. I can see the people who are watching on the streams. I can't see exactly who's watching, but I do know that there are people watching. I know this has got to bother you. You've got to be wondering what the hell is going on. Well, this goes back to that point again. When you talk about an unequal justice system, that's exactly what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a system where they're going to do everything possible to protect Joe Biden because they don't want Donald Trump to be president again. That's what it comes down to. It's like by any means necessary. And that's what they're going to do. Folks, if that in and of itself does not alarm you, and by the way, just so you know, nobody else in the mainstream media is reporting on this. I did a search. I have a number of different media searches availabilities that I have, and nobody's talking about this. CBS, NBC, ABC. Look, hey, if they are, do me a favor in the comments, post a link. Post a link. I want to see, are they talking about it? Are they mentioning this? Because this, I mean, if nothing else, this is just a direct, forget the documents. We've already discussed the fact that people wind up with documents, and we all know that he should have never had those documents because, you know what, he doesn't have the ability to declassify them as vice president. We also know he had documents from back when he was in the Senate, documents that never should have left the SCIF, that he never should have had bad possession of. We all know this now. Now the question is, did he know he had them, and did he know he shouldn't have them? Well, they can't prove that he had them or that he shouldn't have had them because the man is too senile. I dare, if you are a fan of Joe Biden and you are watching this and you disagree, I dare you to comment. I double dog dare you. But you won't. Anyway, moving right along. Mayorkas says don't politicize illegal murder victims. That's right. See, the number of times, and there are media reports, and every few days or at least once a week, you will see a media report about someone who has been victimized, and it's whether it is raped, robbed, murdered, beat down, whatever it is, you will see a report about somebody who has entered this country illegally, killing someone or victimizing some person who is actually here legally. There's tons of reports. All you have to do is Google it. It's all over the place. And he's saying that, well, you know, it's kind of wrong for you to politicize those instances. In fact, hold on, wait. Let me pull it up here. I will pull it up, and I will read the article to you. I'll use his words. It says here, DHS Chief Mayorkas, Americans killed by illegals should not be politicized. It says, in a long profile by the Post, Mayorkas, this is the Washington Post, Mayorkas is featured as a victim of attacks by Republican lawmakers. This week, House Republicans fell just shy of the majority needed to approve the articles of impeachment against Mayorkas, though leadership has vowed to try again. One of the reasons House Republicans have sought to impeach Mayorkas, as the Post notes, is the federal government's inability to protect Americans from illegal immigration. Last year, for example, Mayorkas recalled having to face Angel mom Elise Tambanga's 71-year-old mother, Maria, and her 7-year-old daughter, Amelia were killed in a Texas crash caused by a human smuggler from the United States-Mexico border that was trafficking 11 illegal aliens into the country. Maria was bringing her granddaughter, Amelia, home from a play date at the time of the fatal crash. During the congressional hearing last year, Mayorkas recalled making a vague apology to the Angel family. Elisa, though, said the apology did not cut it and met with Mayorkas after the hearing, showing him a video of her daughter at the crash. I shared a very, very, very private video of my daughter after the crash, she told the Post. And I made him watch it and said, don't you dare look away. You need to see what's happening. And he watched it, and from that moment, I saw the human come out. I saw emotion come out of him. Mayorkas acknowledged to the Post that the case is an extraordinarily tragic, and followed up by saying the losses like this family have suffered should not be politicized. Remarks come from Mayorkas refused to face Angel families last month, who told their stories uh, before the House Homeland Security Committee and blamed his actions at the southern border for each of their daughters' deaths. Now, folks, here's the thing that you need to understand about this. And I'm glad he took a look at it. I'm glad he watched it. I'm glad he recognizes that it's tragic. And this is not, here's the thing, it's not politicizing it if they were the result of failed policies. And that's the thing. In every single one of the cases, these deaths were the result of failed Biden border policies, right? The very fact that his goal is he's encouraging, and by the way, just so you know, he may not be verbally saying, come to the United States, come to the United States. But if you have a policy that says if you show up at the border and claim asylum, you don't even have to have a legitimate claim, we'll let you in. We'll give you resources. We'll give you a phone. We'll give you money. We'll transport you to where you want to go. We'll get you housing. And by the way, and I realize this is not all just Joe Biden, but this is the Democratic Party. This is the sanctuary cities. This is the fact that he's just letting them in. That's all Joe Biden. That is all Joe Biden. I know they wanted to impeach Mayorkas. And by the way, let me just say this. And I get why some Republicans decided not to. I know Tom McClintock, for example. I know him personally. And I know that his position on voting against the impeachment of Donald Trump was because he was not accused at all of any high crimes or misdemeanors. There was no evidence anywhere in either of the claims that he had committed a high crime or misdemeanor. So he voted against it. Well, in this case, he's saying, look, Mayorkas may be crappy at his job securing the border, but he's doing what he's told. There's no evidence of high crimes or misdemeanors here. Now, I think, in my opinion, that, you could point to Joe Biden and say he has a constitutional obligation to secure the southern border and has chosen not to and has ordered his subordinates not to. I think that could be a reason for going after and impeaching him. Now, I'll say this. I would have voted to impeach Mayorkas because once they went after Donald Trump and they made it so that no evidence was required, that no real accusations of high crimes and misdemeanors were required, they made it clear it was a political drill. All bets are off. Let's do it. Now, at that point then, if they want to undo it, if they want to say, look, wait, that's not what we want, well then, let's put in some actual rules in place and let's make sure that this can't be a political drill again. But right now, as it stands right now, the Democrats have made it very clear. This is a political tool. And if it's a political tool, Republicans can wield it just like Democrats. I know you don't have to like it, but that's the way it is. That's the way they have made it. They opened the door. Republicans are simply walking through it. You don't want more. You don't want more of them walking through it. Then you better sit down and you better agree on some restrictions on how it's going to be handled. Anyway, moving right along to our next story, Virginia assault weapon ban includes 9mm pistols. Okay, this is not a new thing because we've heard President Biden say multiple times he wants to go after semi-automatic weapons like 9mm pistols. He wants to go after like 9mm pistols. He wants to go after them. One of the most semi-automatic handguns, the most commonly owned type of firearm in the entire country. Now, if the term safe and in common use has any meaning at all, it's got to do with a semi-automatic handgun. I'm sorry, but the semi-automatic handgun has got to be included in that. Now, by the way, in this particular case, and I forgot to mention, it does include one with a threaded barrel, meaning so that you can add a suppressor. Well, I'm sorry. It's called a suppressor. They call it a silencer, which you and I know It doesn't really silence anything. But this is being reported by Breitbart News, and it says here the ban contained in House Bill 2. Breitbart News reported that HB 2 prohibits semi-automatic centerfire rifles that use a detachable magazine and have threaded barrels. However, in lieu of a threaded barrel, HB 2 makes clear that semi-automatic centerfire rifle falls into the prohibited category if it has a vertical grip, a sound suppressor, or a muzzle brake. They're all muzzle brake or muzzle compensator, folding, telescoping, or collapsing rear stock, among other features. The text of HB 2 also bans semi-automatic centerfire pistols if said pistols use a detachable magazine and have a threaded barrel, which would allow the use of a sound suppressor or flash suppressor. Semi-automatic centerfire pistols are wildly popular among concealed carriers and target shooters. Some of the most popular semi-automatic centerfire pistols include a 9mm 45 ACP and 10mm, and a pistol chambered in any of those 3 rounds could be banned in Virginia over a threaded barrel if Democrats get their way. So in other words, if you could potentially put a suppressor on it. Now, here's what's going to wind up happening. Number one, I don't know many people who conceal carry with a suppressor. Most people I know who use suppressors use them in particular when target shooting, so that it saves on their ears, and that's the number one reason why they use it. But when you're concealed carrying, having a suppressor really kind of it makes it a little bit harder for you to conceal carry it because it adds to the length of the barrel, meaning it makes the draw a little bit more complicated. And once again, if I'm wrong, if y'all disagree with me, go ahead and mention it. Go ahead and point it out in the comments. But it's not really big with concealed carry holders. The point is that they don't want people having suppressors. They don't care that people, if you happen to be into guns, they don't care if you're losing your hearing. That's not their bailiwick. They're not concerned about it. In fact, here in California, we actually had the Brady campaign. We got them out to a shooting range where they got a chance to hear a firearm shot close up, as well as from a distance, with and without a suppressor, both handguns and long guns. And they acknowledged in a committee hearing that, it doesn't make it silent. They are not silencers. They do not make the shooting of firearms silent. In fact, you can still hear them from a distance away. So the impression that was made was wrong. What it does do is it does protect the hearing of those who are in the vicinity of the firearm being shot. But anyway, this is it, folks. This is the first time they're going after handguns. They're trying to ban handguns and call them and accuse them of being assault weapons. Now, I have to imagine that if something like this passes, you'll probably start to see some folks get to their workbench and start to create a suppressor that doesn't require a threaded barrel. Oops. I'm sorry, did I let the cat out of the bag? Yeah, that's likely what's going to happen, because the problem is the people who make these laws know nothing about the technology of firearms, and the people who oppose these laws know everything about the technology of firearms. And for every time they come up with something, for every one person comes up with something, there's a workbench with a couple of guys and a case of beer, where a workaround is going to be found. There's probably at least 1,000 of those. So good luck, Virginia, although I sincerely doubt that Governor Youngkin is going to sign that into law. But never take it for granted. I will continue to say never take it for granted that because someone has an R after their name that they're going to make the right decision on firearm legislation. Anyway. Moving right along. Our good friend Alvin Bragg has finally filed charges on those individuals who assaulted the police officers there in New York. This being reported by the National Review. It says Manhattan DA announces charges in illegal immigration attack on NYPD officers. It says 7 illegal immigrants who were caught on camera attacking 2 NYPD officers in Times Square on January 27th have been indicted by a grand jury, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg announced Thursday. 5 of the suspects were arrested last week, while 2 unnamed individuals have not been apprehended. The five people whose names were released are Darwin Andres, Gomez Isguel, Wilson Juarez, Kelvin Servita Arocha, I'm sorry, that's all one name, Yorman Riveron, and Yohenry Brito. Names of the last 2 remain sealed until they are arraigned in New York State Supreme Court. Now, mind you, the last 2 haven't been found yet. Now, here's the funny part. Here's the interesting thing of it. Where's it at right here? Go down here. Now, despite, here we go down here. Bam. Over the last several days, there have been rumors that the 4 individuals, move back up. Before the indictment dropped, Gomez, Juarez, Arocha, and Reveron were released without bail after their arrests last week and are said to be on the run. Consequently, the district attorney has been harshly criticized for the decision. Another suspect named Juan Brada took part in the beating was also released. Over the last several days, there have been rumors of the 4 individuals and the above still have left the city and were taken into custody by federal authorities, Bragg said. The Manhattan DA's office was informed by Homeland Security investigators Tuesday, February 6th, that the 4 individuals they took into custody were not affiliated with the New York investigation. To date, the office has not received any indication of federal authorities that they have detained any individual related to the office's case. So in other words, these guys beat up 2 cops, were released the same day without bail, and now they're facing charges. And by the way, I don't even know that any of them are really facing like any charges of violence in the beating. Let me see here. I'm going back up here to see exactly what they were charged with. Our joint investigation, an additional video surveillance. Okay, so here we go. Brito, Gomez, Riveron, and Ochoa face 2 counts of second-degree assault. Okay, so they do face assault. 1 count of second-degree obstruction of a government administration, and 1 are charged with tampering with physical evidence. So, in other words, 2 counts of assault, a second-degree assault. Not assaulting a peace officer, but just second-degree assault. Sounds like they're getting off light, even if they do find them. But hey, you know what? If there's any good news, they're on their way to California. You know, the sanctuary state. This is the world we live in, folks. I wish I could tell you that this was not reality. I wish I could tell you that this was fantasy land. But I'm just like, literally, the Babylon Bee has got nothing on reality. I mean, some of the things, there's a reason why you have to have a disclaimer for the Babylon Bee or for the Onion, because some of the things some of the headlines they have that seem outrageous, they're very outrageous, but they're only slightly more outrageous than actual reality. I'm serious. They're only slightly. They're only, once again, slightly more outrageous than actual reality. In fact, tell you what, let's do this. Let's go ahead to our parting shots, brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com, use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. We have several of our things today are coming from the Babylon Bee, and you'll see just how outrageous. I mean, it seems like you would think that these would be outrageous, but they're not. Okay, our first one here. Troy passes border protection law limiting entrance of wooden horses to 5,000 a day. Okay, if you do not get that joke, you need to either, number one, take some time and read some history about the city of Troy and the Trojan horse, or you need to go back and read the...
Please try again.
Okay, for some reason Siri is interrupting my conversation, my show today, and I don't know why Siri does that. I don't know if she does that with you, but she's really nosy. Anyway, all that having been said, or you need to take time, go back, read the Senate version of that Senate bill that's supposed to secure the border. Yeah, go back and read that bill because it doesn't. It just doesn't, and you'll get it. This is based on the story reported today, the one that we talked about today, where basically, they basically ruled man too senile to stand trial for still fine to run the country. In other words, what the special investigator noted is, this dude cannot stand trial. He's too senile. But they didn't say he shouldn't be president anymore. He's still fine to be president of the United States, right? I don't think so. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, but it seems to be how it's working. And then finally, that Tucker Carlson is actually, his interview with Putin is supposed to be released today. And he's catching a lot of flack from people, some of which are calling him a traitor. Even though they haven't seen the interview, they don't know the questions in the interview, they don't even know what's going on. And these journalists seem to be confused by a journalist actually doing journalism. Now, mind you, I think it's safe to say that people have their questions about Tucker Carlson and whether or not he supports Putin or not. I think some of those are fair criticism. Some of them I think are a bit over the top. But what I will say is this, is that he got the interview that everyone would want to have. Now the question is he going to ask the hard questions? Is he not? Is he just going to let Putin run him over? Or is he actually going to ask the hard questions? We shall see. But how about you wait and you see the interview before you start calling him a traitor? Just maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Because I have seen in a number of instances where Tucker Carlson was the only journalist willing to ask someone the hard questions. I'm hoping that this interview is no exception, that he asks them the hard questions and then has to, I hope he doesn't have to run for his life, but if he asks the hard questions, he may have to run for his life. We shall see. Anyway, so that's going to be airing today on Twitter. I have not had a chance to check it out, see if it's been posted or not yet. But anyway, look for it. Maybe we'll comment on it or talk about it on tomorrow's show. And with that, we come to the end of our show where we once again mention our sponsors. We start with Hitman Industries. Just go to hitmanindustries.net. Get your rifle and pistol caliber barrels today. California Republican Assembly. If you want to be a part of California's future today, join CRA. Go to Hog Holsters at hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word. Get your Hog Holster today at a discount. And then looking for all things tactical except the gun, go to uscombatgear.com. And that's it for today. Once again, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program. By the way, if you have not already followed us on Rumble, go to Rumble. Rumble. It is the home of free speech. I'm telling you right now, it is the home of free speech. I love Spotify, and I know we have a growing Spotify audience, and they're probably my second favorite. But I'm telling you, go to Rumble. Go to OpsLens if you don't watch us on OpsLens. Subscribe to us at OpsLens. But make sure you're subscribing to us at Rumble. Make sure y'all are doing that. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow on Free For All Friday.